Well, hello,
I'm sure.
everybody.
I'm sure people will arrive.
Yeah, they will. They will. I think, I think Carl was the only one that first showed up.
It's like that, isn't it? You know, if you build it, they will come.
Right. That's what we
Yeah,
gotta do.
that's the one.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
he disappeared for a while as well, didn't he, Carl? He had
yeah,
a
he
leave
said
of
he had.
absence too.
Yeah, he said he had internet problems. I don't
Oh,
believe it.
okay. Lies.
Right, Carl. We know you.
Only
Oh,
too well, Mister. Yeah, only too well, Carl.
right. You're that back alley bandit. You only
Yeah,
show up when you got something in the trench coat.
that suggests an entirely different kind of thing, doesn't it? If you call somebody a back alley bandit.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. It just depends on where you're from.
Hello, Obama fan. Obama fan, how you doing, man?
Hey, Bama. Yeah. Hey, Derek.
Hello,
How you
Derek.
doing?
Howdy doodly, Derek.
Oh. Well, welcome. Everybody, say hello to my co-host with the most, Mr.
Yeah,
Davey.
the man who knows nothing about prepping or survival. Please feel free to ask questions.
Right?
I'm sure I can.
All
I'm sure I can lead you to an early demise and early death. Yeah.
No, there's hundreds of things that you could do with dental floss and a rubber hose.
Hey, absolutely correct. Let me tell you, that's why when we were last discussing survival, I brought up I brought up the condom thing.
Yes, I mean it's a rubber hose.
Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah.
At least it's better than a tube sock.
Absolutely. Well, a tube sock at least stands up on its own.
Right?
Never underestimate the need for starch in a survival situation.
Ain't that the truth? Oh, you could beat somebody to death with a tube sock.
Well, and you like it? Is it 2 liters or 2 pints? I always forget. I should know this from back in the day, but
Uh-huh.
2 liters are 2 pints of water inside a condom, people. So if you need water storage when you're out, I mean, just don't be carrying hundreds of condoms around. You know, you're the prophylactic
Right?
survivalist. you know, you get
You'll be
stock up on those Trojans, people.
and always get the banana flavor ones too.
Absolutely, there's still plenty of water. It's a job done. That's what we got told in the army, anyway. I think we're just like it's just all a ploy, so we all started walking around with condoms. Really,
Right?
they didn't bother training us
Because
about water stills or anything like that.
oh, that's wonderful. They
Well, you
know
know,
the
not at
real
least.
reason. They know the real reason why you needed condoms and a survival kit because they were sending you all over the world.
That is true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Loads of little half Brits all over the world. Yeah,
Right? Oh, it's like
but
my
this
uncle.
you have a survival straw, don't you? I've heard you talking about a survival straw, and that's that wasn't around when we were doing all that. There was no survival straw.
Yeah, yeah, the life straw. It
That's the one.
it came. I mean, life straw came out in like the last 15 years. It was used for not survival. It was actually used to for third world countries like
Okay.
India and Africa and stuff like that, so they could actually get purified drinking water at that time. And
I'm not sure
then
India'd be happy about you calling them a third world country.
Well, the third world parts of their country, should we say?
Okay, yeah.
I'm,
Are you
I
going to
mean,
say hello to some of the people that have popped in the chat? You got Try Surviving, Amber's
oh,
Paraworld is Stephen, Nightmare, and Nicole.
hello, Tryon. Hello, Amber. Hello, Steven. Hello, Nightmare. Hello, Nicole. Welcome
Oh,
back, everybody.
hello, hello.
I got my one and only, partner that knows everything. If not, he can Google it.
Yeah, I lie is what I do. If I don't know it, I lie just like everybody else.
Right. Hey, act it. Act the part. That's all you
Yeah,
got to do. I mean,
yeah. I'm a flawed human being. I'm a bag of skin like everybody else. Yeah.
right? I mean, look at all the wonderful TV shows that are faking it.
Do you mean regarding survival and such?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're going to have the same discussion again. I mean, how many times, Dave, have you ever heard of a survival situation where you were literally blown out of a plane or dropped off the ship bare naked and you swam to a remote island and you had to survive? I don't even think Robinson Crusoe did that.
Well, him and Tom Hanks. Try Surviving's just made it said there that the makers of the Life Straw tested the product by drinking from a toilet.
Yep. And also from a septic tank. They literally put it in a used septic tank and drunk out of it.
They must have had a high level of confidence in the product to do that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They will put urine, they will put feces, everything in it. And it's supposed to be 99.9999999 to the infinity. Like safe. But the
So what
only
about
bad thing about them.
what about the 0.0000001% of sucking up a turd?
well, then you got HIV.
Fair enough.
Hey, I'd rather have HIV and be able to drink the water and still live than dying of dehydration.
Mm. To my sort of mindset, or rather the way that I sort of like see it or sort of interpret it, is in most cases a great chunk of survival situations are not, as you've described, falling out of the sky or being blown out of an aircraft and then having to swim to a
Right.
paradise island in a way that's full of coconuts where you can carve yourself a friend.
Yeah.
Anything like that. There tend to be situations where people get injured in normal kind of scenarios and either end up stuck out on the moors or stuck out on the mountains and they've got to survive,
Right.
or they're stuck in winterous hazardous conditions and they can't get to the nearest log cabin, that kind of thing. But and in most cases they're so different and so disparate that they can't be sort of like related to one another. It's because of the human element, I suppose. There's a few more people coming, by the way.
Yeah. How you doing, crazy girl? How you doing, Jamie? Yeah, I was letting
Hello,
you
crazy
talk
girl.
before.
No, he's fine.
But yeah, I mean, like TV has glamorized every situation. It's like, you know, like propane grills and, all those people. They stick them out in the most weirdest places that you would never see typical people ever going. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like how many normal people of everyday life has been trapped in the North Pole?
This is my point. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the
This is the
Kalahari
thing.
Desert.
Hello, by the way, crazy girl, and hello. Is it Domo and Nene?
Hey, Domo. Yeah, Domo and Nene. Nene.
Domo and Nene. Okay. Howdy.
Yeah.
Hello. How?
But it's one of those things, it's glamorizing everything. It's people people not only on TV want to get away from their everyday 9 to 5 life.
Hmm.
They want to see other people suffering or in pain or whatever, and not them. And it's the same thing with any other field. It's all about the are you going to get hurt? Can you do this? I mean, it's in extreme situations that none of these people will ever put themselves in. Like, and half of the time, like what you were saying, most missing persons or, survival cases or stuff is people going to national parks and walking off trail and getting lost or falling down, twisting their ankle on a rock or stepping in a rabbit hole and snapping an ankle or breaking a leg, and they're down. They literally can't crawl back or do anything. So they're stuck in that situation. I think the only person that's ever did a survival scenario with a real life problem was Les Stroud, and but he still did it in the most glamorous way possible. Like, he was in the Canadian tundra, okay, and he was flying a bush plane, and supposedly the bush plane crashed, and he got a broken arm. But the thing is, that scenario was still one out of how many million people? How many people is a bush pilot? What, there's like maybe 400 in the whole entire world that are.
No, not over here in the UK. Everybody is trained as a bush pilot from birth, brother. There's 66.6 million of us.
You're popped out of the womb and
Absolutely.
put in training.
Flying lessons from 6 months old, and you expect to pass when you're 5. Otherwise, you're kicked out onto the tundra in Scotland to fend for yourself. And hopefully, one of the people who did pass as a bush pilot will fly over and find you and rescue you. We sound like the Spartans, but weirder,
Yeah, just a little bit. the, the 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 whole dangerous Scottish, Sahara Desert.
Don't you start upsetting the Scots.
I'm sorry.
I think the thing is that
hey, Rain, how you doing, sis?
People want a high sort of like a reasonable balance between being entertained and living on the edge of the seat kind of thing. And these people like to live vicariously through the experiences of other people. So even in a survival kind of situation, that's good. But would you like to be out there yourself going through it? Chances are no.
Right. Nobody. I mean, even survivalists that do this stuff would rather be at their home enjoying their luxury 5-star dinner than out there,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's there's a difference between recreational going out into the woods or what you call bushcrafters, going out seeing what little hut they can build with fallen down trees or whatever, and actually surviving. Because bushcrafting is all good and everything, but it's a hobby. Just like survivalists are a hobby. Same thing with prepping is a hobby. Homesteading is a hobby also. By category, it is a hobby, a glorified hobby. It is a skill, but it's a hobby skill set. Um, because it's skills that's not needed in everyday life by society. And like a bushcrafter, okay, a bushcrafter can go out in the woods, can cut down, build a mini wooden mansion in the middle of nowhere if they have time, effort, tools, you know, and food and all this stuff. Because have you ever seen bushcrafters? They take the most glorious meals out to the woods with them and cook it up, like T-bone steaks, all this stuff. Well, in a survival scenario, that bushcrafter is not going to spend 8 to 10 hours building a log cabin in the middle of the woods when they know that they're lost and they're hurt. They're going to throw together a quick lean-to shelter and get out of there and go home and get taken care of. They're
Yeah,
not
well, that's
going
hang
to.
on a minute. Let me get
Yeah,
in, Matt, because that's what
you're
any
good. Good.
survivalist
Sorry.
that's what any survivalist is going to do.
Yeah.
The most important thing when you're in a survival situation isn't to build yourself a log cabin. It isn't to spend the
Right.
next 48, 72 hours building stuff. It's to build
Yeah.
the quickest shelter that you possibly can, locate food and locate water.
Right. But the thing is, like with TV, it's made all these people like survival shows. Most of the people that are on like Naked and Afraid and everything are hobby bushcrafters and all this stuff. And you know, and they show actually how their real skill sets work in an area that they have no clue about. I've seen a bushcrafter that's been bushcrafting for 20 plus years, and he was in the army for like 10 years, and he didn't even know how to throw a lean-to shelter on a tropical island. He didn't know where to find bamboo. He didn't know how to do any of this stuff. So most of the time, he was sitting under a rock, like a rock face, huddled, like huddled, trying to protect himself.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like myself,
Yeah.
I'm like not really known for leaving the UK, so I
Right.
don't need to know how to build a shelter out of bamboo. So it's, as I've said before, it's relative to the situation you find yourself in, and that's ever changing, isn't it? So even as much as you prepare and as much as you train for them given situations, you're only really a true survivor when you're put in that situation and you have to survive the very thing you go through, by default.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, and that's not that's the thing that these big TV shows don't understand. They believe the word survivalist or bushcrafter, they're able to survive in any terrain.
What was the
And
name of that show you were just talking about? What's it called? Did you say it's called Naked and Afraid? Yeah,
yeah, Naked and
Naked and
Afraid.
Afraid. All right. Well, I've got a question. Is there any UK people in the side chart? Do we have? I don't watch TV. I'm not interested in it really. Do we have
Right.
Naked and Afraid in this country? Is that shown on any of our channels in the UK? Does anybody know?
I mean,
Go on, Matt.
you should, because there is a lot of UK participants in it. But yeah, Nightmare. I mean, that's the thing. They are. I mean, well, it's not that they're programming us not to survive. It's programming us that if these people can survive in it, anybody can. Because they put them. The way that they think is they put them in the worst situation with one tool, say like a machete or whatever. But that's the thing. They throw them out into these locations without clothes, without food, without water, but they have a damn machete when they get to their base. Or they're allowed to bring one item from home.
All right, cheers for that, Jamie. You could be right. It could be on that channel. I've heard about that one. No worries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jamie. But if you don't have clothes, I don't think you're going to be able to have a machete with you either in that survival situation. Do you, Dave?
Well, where are you going to strap? Where are you going to strap it to, brother? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Well, I'll strap it to my tongue.
Yeah, I think if you're not like predisposed towards wearing clothes, mind you running around naked with a machete. I'm sure some people do it.
Yeah, it's just the ideas behind their thinking of like producers and stuff that are sitting in their high-rise, condos or mansions or whatever, and they're like, oh, look at this. This would be a great idea. But, they never once set foot outside. And
Do you know what you're doing? You know where you're making your mistake, a fundamental mistake. Is that you're assuming, or rather you're thinking that TV is about actually passing on information when it's not. It's just about entertainment. It's about them making money. It's about them getting viewing figures. They don't care about telling the truth. It's not the platform for the truth, mainstream media, brother. So
right.
survival is going to be the very bottom of the pile. Hello, Beth. How are you doing? And hello, Carl.
Hey, Beth. Hey, Mo, bro. Hey, Beth,
Hey, Mo.
sis. Hey, Carl, brother. Welcome back. But I'm going to flip this camera around, sir, and we're going to go on an adventure. Ooh. Camera. Back. Done. Okay. So, look what I found. It's a chicken hotel.
Wonderful.
See? Lifestyles. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the HOAs and everything are allowing people to have up to 4 chickens on their land for, like, hobbyists, Like, here, you can buy egg cartons for 69 cents because of they go to farmers markets and all this stuff to sell whatever. And this is the size that you can keep in a HOA house. But a real homesteader, we don't use this stuff.
Do you know what, right? I don't even keep chickens, but looking at that chicken hotel, I'm thinking of getting some just to fill one of them. Hello, Vinny.
And these are actually nice. If you have chickens, these chicken brooders, they're heaters and brooders for cold. Like, they can lay in, like, the little chicks can lay underneath it, or they can sit on top of it. I mean, $50, that's not bad. And it can keep a whole entire, flock warm. So those are good, but it runs on electricity, and if you don't have a generator or anything, if you don't have, I hear baby chicks. You want to go see some baby chicks? Hey, Dave.
Absolutely, yeah.
The next season, so we're not getting as many of the bulky cars.
Go find them. Where's the baby chicks at? Hold on. Excuse me. Where did you find the baby chicks at?
They're in the back where that black cage room is. They have a few.
Thank you so much.
I like it when you get excited about chickens, Matthew.
I love chickens. I have like 200 of them. I've never showed y'all my chickens, have I?
No, you've been very ignorant where chicken showage has been concerned.
I'm sorry. Where are you, babies? There we go. Look at them. Oh, they're under the heat lamp because it's so cold. And I can't get in. Hold on. Matthew will find a way to get in here.
I don't think that cage is to keep the chickens in, it's to keep you out.
It is. Oh, they got me locked out.
Yes, quite right as well, you chicken fondler.
I know. Oh. Chick, 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 chick. Chick, 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 chick. Yeah, there we go. Y'all see those things?
Absolutely.
They're so adorable. I'll be having some more in what the hell? Anyways. Okay, so this is like our livestock feed area. Like see, and there's another chicken coop. It's much smaller. And they want almost $500 for something like this.
Well,
It's
if you're keeping chickens, it's $500 well spent, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, but it's so limited in space. I mean, for 4 chickens, you really won't really get your money back if you're trying to sell eggs. You know what I mean? Oh, let's see if they have any. Oh, they got a chicken plucker here for $500. Yeah,
a chicken plucker. Yeah,
yeah. You see the naked chickens?
I can see the naked chicken. Yes, I can. Yeah.
You throw it in, and it's like a washing machine. It spins it around. It's got these rubber nipples on it that pull the feathers out. But I was raised old school. I was raised
I was just going to say, what happened to the good old-fashioned manual chicken plucking?
Yeah, boil it and take off the feathers that way. People don't like getting dirty, Dave.
No, clearly not, Matt. No, if they're inventing machines to pluck, I don't even believe I'm having a conversation about this, to be honest with you. But if they're inventing machines to pluck chickens, then yeah.
Yeah. They got to invent a machine to pluck a chicken because if they have to invent a machine to pluck feathers, they're going to start inventing a machine to gut chickens too.
Matthew,
that wasn't much fun.
There will be machines to do everything.
I know, right? The machine takeover of 2023. Something like that.
Hello, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. How you doing, brother? Oh, why are you calling me work? I'm off today. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Let me answer this text.
You do what you got to do, mate.
Keep them busy, big bro.
No, I'll keep them something, all right. Don't you worry about that.
All right. I'll be right back. Let me answer this text and everything.
Yeah, he's always doing that. What's that, Carl? You could make what? Something like them chicken huts for £100. Chicken huts? Use the correct terminology, please. The coops. Apparently. So what we said there about I think we only we're plucking our cock. Roosters. Yeah, anything that's like that where I live, that particular story was just walking around in there. But I'm sure there is something like that somewhere in the UK. But it's kind of alien to me. So it's up top at the top, eat and dip chicken in, and then cold water feathers gone. Absolutely. See, you know what gets me like is every time he does a stream or he's on one of my streams, he has a bad signal. Yet when work phones him, his signal's fine. Why doesn't he just do the bad signal thing, or at least pretend? I don't know. Who have we missed? Let's have a look who we've missed. I think everybody's been let on to, haven't they? Let's have a look who we've missed out. I don't think it's everybody in it full roll call. I can't look at baby chicks. If I see them, I'll buy them all. You like him yourself, do you? I don't know if you was here a little bit earlier when he was looking at the chicks, Ryan, but that's you're a man after Matthew's heart, then. I'd be.
Who's after my heart?
Ryan has just said, if he can't look at baby chicks because if he sees them, he wants to buy them all.
Right. They're adorable. Okay. Where to now so I can show more prepping gear? Because Tractor Supply has been more glamorized to like the hobbyist homesteaders.
I've got to be honest, I did wonder why you took us in that store. Is that what that was about?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. Well, I was going to do it on the last live stream, but the battery,
Yeah, man. Absolutely, yeah.
The battery crapped out. But I just want people to be able to fend for themselves if things get worse, not fear mongering, not whatever, but
no.
Like, and it's not just because of that. It's also, where your food's coming from if you grow and raise your own stuff, like because there's a lot of people out there that's like, oh, what does this have in it? What does this have in it? Steroids and these chickens, blah, blah, blah. But if you raise your own and kill your own, then you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And it saves you a lot of money in the long term.
That is very true.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you're reading
Ryan.
Yeah, I knew you was reading the side chat.
Yeah.
Ryan, you will be like in the ranks of a multitude doing exactly that, let me tell you. You won't be on your own with that activity.
I'll be on the other side of the cliff, yelling at you.
Equally as naked.
Yes. I may not have a loincloth, I'll tell you that. I'll be that weird caveman neighbor.
More preparation than the people the subjective people we're talking about before who didn't even have a loincloth. They were just running around with a machete.
Right.
At least he's making an effort to dress.
Oh. Nicole having her steak. Well, Nicole, if get a cow. Get a cow, then you'll have plenty of steak. After its other uses dry up. Because that's what I was taught. With my grandparents, like, you use the cow for everything else first, then think about meat after everything stops.
Well, I mean, you just speak for over here, but beef cattle and dairy cattle are two very different things and are grown and reared for the purposes. Yeah. So you wouldn't want to eat a dairy cow because it's not been fed for that purpose.
I
Likewise,
have.
you wouldn't want to milk one that's been. You have.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
does that not surprise me at all?
And actually, like, see the difference between dairy cattle and beef cattle is, like, beef cattle will still produce milk, but it produces in lower quantities. So they like say a Holstein cow. Okay, a Holstein cow will produce between 6 to 8 gallons a day of milk, but something like a Longhorn cow here in Texas will only produce maybe a gallon to a gallon and a half of milk. And that um you've had Monterey Jack cheese, right, Dave?
Say it again. Sorry, you cut out a little bit there, brother.
Oh, you've had Monterey Jack cheese, correct?
The only thing that I recognize in that sentence is cheese.
Monterey Jack is
And
a
the same
Texas.
to you, sir. Never heard of it, no.
Well, it is a Longhorn Texas brand of cheese. It comes from actual Longhorn cows, but they are beef cattle, but they still use that milk to make the cheese out of.
Right, I'll just say something here. You're in the States, and anybody who's in the States, don't think that the way that you raise cows is the same as what goes on over here in the UK or Europe, because it's not. It's not, right? So don't even start in the side chat because it's completely different, okay? They're not all grain fed. It's not, they might be in the States, but they're not in the UK. They have specific protein cakes, depending upon what they're being farmed for. So it's completely different.
Yes. Even here in Texas, they're not bred and they're not bred and fed the same way either. Like Longhorn cattle, they are bred on rye wheat, and you don't get rye wheat growing naturally, you know. And they also give them what's called coastal grain grass, which is grown literally in on coastal regions, and they are given like the best of the best ingredients, you know, because literally what you put in the cow is what you get in return.
Yeah, that's pretty
how
much
they
exactly what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yep. I'm siding with you. Big bro.
Yeah. I mean, you know, obviously, if they're out to pasture, it's a completely different thing, you know.
Yeah. If they're openly grazing, that's only like 5% of their diet. You know, the rest of it is what, when they go in, they get fed on a science diet, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, over here, it's 24% protein cake. Well, it varies from anywhere from 16 to 24% protein cakes that they use, depending upon the output that they're expecting from that particular cattle at any one time, and that's also dependent upon the type of grass that they're eating and the silage, the quality of the silage that they're eating. So it's not just clear cut as everything eats the same thing, because that's not how it works at all. You know,
right.
Dairy and beef cattle in the UK are completely different. If you eat a dairy cow, expecting it to taste like steak, you're going to be massively disappointed, because it's going to taste like ass, is what it's going to taste like. It's not reared for that. It's reared to be dairy.
Yeah.
And maximum output being dairy, you know?
Yeah. See, we like, for weight gain and everything, we feed like in.
Have you seen Beth's comment?
No, which one?
She just said it's rye, not a grain.
It is a grain, but it's a different flavor grain. It makes the meat taste differently, more.
Did you just get caught out, Matt?
Yeah, yeah. But it's not basic grain. You know what I mean? Like, well, we also feed it in the South. We also feed it molasses and sweet feed for weight gain and to help produce a sweeter milk too. So we got these big, huge sweet feed molasses blocks that we get people.
Hmm.
Yeah. It makes whole milk a lot sweeter. It makes, 1%, 2% milk. It keeps that sweetness in there while it's taking away the fat. Because used to we just allowed the fat in the milk to be the sweetness, but now with 1% and 2% and whole skim milk and all this crap, they have to add an alternative to the milk to sweeten it naturally.
Well, that's the thing is over here is like I said, with the dairy cow, it's usually high starch and high protein cakes to yield maximum quantities of milk, which tastes well,
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I'm trying to think of somewhere else I can take us that is nearby that is a good prepping, like everyday use store.
Your call, brother. Wherever you think is best.
Yeah, it's getting 6 o'clock. Most of the smaller stores and everything are going to be closing right now. Hey, you know what? Fuck it.
Fair enough.
They'll be closed. I'm off tomorrow. We can do it all again. But
there
now
you go.
We're just going to have a good old sit down and talk.
Part 3 tomorrow, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, that was
everything.
Something to look
Right. Stillage. I've never heard of
silage.
Silage. Silage. My bad.
Not silage, silage. Jeez,
Dave,
man.
Dave, you know my southern reading. I read how it sounds.
I have come to the conclusion you don't know a great deal about cattle.
No, even though I was raised on a dairy farm, I forgot all of it.
You was raised on a dairy farm, all right?
Yeah, 300 head of dairy, 300 head of cow.
Well, surely when they brought in and over the winter, they're given protein cakes, or they're not just left to starve. Surely.
No, we gave all our girls, like I said, the molasses feed and the sweet feed. We didn't. My grandfather couldn't afford like fancy protein cakes or anything like that. He made most of his own stuff out of blackstrap molasses and corn.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Those goddamn posh British cows.
Damn posh.
Even the cows have got corgis.
And a monocle.
Yeah, a monocle and a top hat. Yeah.
Yes. And a handlebar mustache. Don't forget the handlebar mustache.
They're only on the bulls, lad. They're only on the bulls.
Oh, well, I think the females could grow it.
There's some areas where you're probably right, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, like in the UK, I know pretty much bushcrafting and all that stuff started out in the UK. I mean, well, the terminology and the hype of it. So, how many per se stores is there that deal with bushcrafting and all the camper type people out, out there? Is it in like the bigger places or what?
There's quite a lot actually, knocking about on the high streets in the cities and some of the bigger towns.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do any sort of like mentioning any particular ones because there is quite a
Right.
lot, and some even the bigger grocery stores or supermarkets will have like little areas where you can pick up tents and stoves and all that kind of thing. So I suppose that's sort of geared more towards camping, but there are specialist
Right.
stores, all over the UK. You can get gear. You come away from any major city, especially where I'm living here, just outside Manchester,
Mhm.
and you look out of my back door, out the back windows of my house, and you're looking onto the moors, and then
Yeah.
that's it. It's the moors are desolate. You go up there and you get lost up there, you're gonna die.
Right.
So of
And
course it's everybody wants to survive. So there is stores
yeah.
but they're considered specialist, really, I suppose, just like they would be in the States, I expect.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, well, they call them like gear stores, like geared to a specific. And then there's the all around store, like hunting stores, um, like the sportsman, like the sportsman's version of Walmart is called Bass Pro Shop out here, and
Okay.
everything of hunting, fishing, survival, whatever is at that place. Um, what is it? Its other partner. Crap, it starts with a C. Callaghan's or something. I don't remember. That just shows you how many times I go there.
Well, over here you got Decathlon, which is a huge sports store, but you name it, fishing, golf, kayaking, all sorts of things. But it also has big chunk of it, survival equipment, camping equipment, and we have Survival UK. That's a big one over here, and my favourite one over here actually, and this might raise might raise a wry smile for all you Beatles fans out there. It's called Sergeant Preppers.
Really?
Sergeant Preppers, yeah. Apparently that store you're thinking of that begins with C is Cabela's.
Yeah, Cabela's. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Beth. Yeah, REI too. Yeah. I like Sergeant Preppers.
Sergeant Preppers.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Nightmare. It was Nightmare got in there first, actually, but
yeah. Oh, thank you, Nightmare. Sorry, I'm trying to drive and read chat.
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, Sergeant Preppers is the place to be. Yeah, for all you lonely hearts out there that want to go survivalisticing, get yourself down to Sergeant Preppers. Absolutely brilliant. And then we have Green Man over here in the UK as well. That's another survivalist place. I don't know if anybody. I've had some bits and bobs from there in the past.
Yeah. When I come over, I'm making a beeline straight to Sergeant Preppers.
Sergeant Preppers, Borough. That's where it's at. Hey, Debs, how you doing? Sergeant Preppers,
hey!
Yeah.
Oh god, that just brings a smile to my face.
It is a good one. I mean, it's Survival Warehouse, I suppose. If anybody knows if that's still going. Survival Warehouse used to be a pretty big one. I don't know if it's still going that now.
See, I love the UK because you have so many different countries surplus and for dirt cheap, pretty much.
So basically, what you're saying is you love the UK because we take everybody else's shite.
Yes. and resell
enough.
it.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, where else could you go and get, a single, a single Swiss volcano, a Swiss volcano stove, Swiss Army volcano stove. You can get a Polish Army mess tin. You can get
that is all
a
true. Yeah,
UK
you're absolutely
basher,
right. Yeah, absolutely.
all in
Don't forget
one go.
the good old Swedish Trangia.
Yes, I mean, it's a one-stop shop for everything. I mean,
Yeah,
but
that's the
here,
other one there. Countryman. Countryman's the other one. Yeah, thanks, Carl.
oh, Countryman.
Countryman, yeah.
Yeah, we have Sportsman Warehouse. The only bad thing, though, Tryon, is I don't like their online ordering anymore. I mean, you have to buy a specific amount of stuff, but then there's certain deals that they have, like haversacks, where you have to buy like 5 of them to get them for a decent price. Like you have to buy 15 haversacks to get it to be maybe $3 a haversack instead of buying one for $20. I think that's a ripoff. I just need one. I don't need 50.
Oh, yes, you do. To store all those chickens in.
Right.
to take those chickens on a hiking expedition. That's what you need all those haversacks for.
That's what I need to do. I need to train one of my chickens to be a 411 rescue chicken.
Jeez, yeah. Yeah.
Could you just see that?
And,
you being lost in the woods and a chicken comes lay on your chest.
To make it realistic, though, if the chickens were found afterwards, they would have to be like naked, wouldn't they? And found with his shoes at the side of them and the clothes packed neatly away and all.
Right.
And remember, most 411 cases always seem to occur near water.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird, because here's the thing, I'm sorry, but most cases of like cryptosporidia and, all other like waterborne illnesses and everything, they take up to 3 to 5 days before they take effect into your system.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But all these survival shows and everything, they're like, oh, don't drink this water or anything unless you boil it first and purify it and all this stuff. Well, if I was a bird watcher and I was on the trail and I know nothing about survival or anything, I'm not going to dehydrate. I'm going to drink straight out of that, stream or whatever. Then I'm going to take the repercussions after I'm found. Because even if you do have diarrhea and you are still by a water source, have any reason to dehydrate from diarrhea.
Yeah, but with diarrhea, you're also you needing to replace electrolytes as well, aren't you? Not just the actual fluids.
Yeah, you got to replace the salt and everything.
So it's okay. It's okay shitting yourself to death at the side of a river, and then continuing to drink that river what's polluted. But you're just going to shit yourself to death, aren't you? Because you're not going to be replacing the electrolytes and stuff. So, hello, Raves.
Well, you know what I say to that?
Go on.
Drink up.
Oh, yes, yeah. Drink shit and be merry.
Yes. I mean, depending on, the time of the year and everything, technically, you could lick your own sweat and replace some salt.
Yeah, but you can only do that for so long, can't you?
Yeah, until it runs out.
Well, before you just get bored of licking your own armpit, quite frankly.
Oh, trust me, I never get bored of licking my own armpit.
Yeah, you're not even in a survival situation. You just enjoy licking your own armpit as a hobby.
Right? People think it's like a shaved Sasquatch up in a tree. No, it's just me hanging from one arm licking my armpit.
It's rather like sort of like tonguing a gooseberry, isn't it? Because you've got to be careful where you stick your tongue.
Right.
You're talking to getting like tongue rash as well.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Listen, kids, anybody who's watching this, please don't listen to Matthew. Do not lick your own armpits unless you're in a survival situation, of course. In which case, you should have prepared yourself with chickens. If you'd have bought 50 haversacks like Matthew didn't, then you would have been able to. You would have had a plethora of chickens with which to use in a survival situation.
A plethora of chickens.
You like that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You
Oh,
like that.
that's
I can tell you like it. A plethora of chickens.
I have chicken. I have so many chickens. Oh,
Yeah.
let's see what the local food prices are at the local grocery store.
Not if you're going to start moaning about the price of food and boring everybody in the side chat.
Oh, I will.
Oh, we know.
Yes, sir. Jumbo bacon potatoes, 2 for $1.
Nice.
Buy them now.
I'm just outside Manchester, Raves.
Yes. Don't you
So
hear
well,
that
pretty much
seductively?
Manchester.
Don't you hear that seductively Manchester voice of his?
Oh. If anything, I do not sound Mancunian. I would. This has been commented upon before by other people from England.
Right.
Yeah, like, where are you from, man?
You're confusing people, Dave.
Confuse people with the accent, which is like a mixture between like a northerner and a constipated rat.
A constipated rat.
I'm so like the ferret of misconception. You're down south. Whereabouts are you? I'm not expecting your address, obviously. But whereabouts are you?
Dorset.
No, I don't think we got another Dorsetian. Dorset.
Dorsetian.
Good old Dorsetian.
Oh, that makes me want to go and watch that Dorset guy on BBC. You know, what is his name?
I have no idea, brother.
I
Sorry.
forgot.
Okay.
What? Who?
Raves is in Surrey. Okay, cool. No worries. Surrey. Yes.
No, it's like this old guy. He was in his 80s, in the 80s, talking about like Dorset, how Dorset's falling and losing all its traditions and all this stuff. And
I have never watched a TV show which is massively biased towards Dorset, so I cannot help you at all. Was this on Dorset TV or something?
I guess it was the Dorset BBC.
BBC Dorset. No, I've no idea what you're talking about.
Oh shit! What's his name? Damn it! He taught me how to butcher a pig. Like he taught me how Dorset butchers a pig, and they keep one pig for basic eatery.
He taught you how to butcher a pig. A guy. Let me get this right. Yeah, you're born in Tennessee and you live in Texas, but a guy from Dorset. Taught you how to butcher a pig. Is that correct?
On the tube, on the telly, yes.
Well, fuck a priest.
but but they do it so weird. Like they cut the pig in half and they keep one for daily food and everything, and they put one back and like salt it and cure it and everything for like winter time. But they only do one pig a year. I'm like, how much of that pig are you really eating?
Yeah,
Like,
that just wouldn't work where I come from, mate. Just because the amount of bacon people expect to be fed.
right. Oh.
Yeah, that's true enough. Actually, raved. Yeah, stay away from the priests. Oh, they're allowed to fuck what they want, though, aren't they? You know.
They're free range.
Yeah, don't mention the kids.
Is that a child strike outside that preacher's house?
Now, Matthew. Now.
Sorry.
Weirdly, right? No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say weirdly. Actually, what I would get on this, Matt, right? Unsurprisingly, right? Carl knows the show of which you're speaking about.
Carl! See? I'm not losing it, Dave.
He knows exactly what you're talking about, brother.
Like he showed me all this, like on the TV show, he showed all this weird shit and everything. Like there was a homestead like estate sale that he went to, and like it looked like just hollowed out pieces of wood, right? But he was like, oh, that's a 1600s like corn grinder or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck? How do you know that?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch out for Dorset TV.
Dorset TV.
Yeah, because I'm interested in how to wrestle a pig and how to manhandle a sheep.
Manhandle a sheep.
Just in case, yeah. Carl says he had a shed on a shotgun. Carl, are you sniffing glue at the minute? He had a
Just read that.
he had a shed on a shotgun and a horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did.
Now I'm sure. Do you want to try that again in English or? He's off his head, isn't he, Carl? You gotta love Carl. Carl, what are you talking about? He had a shed and a shotgun and a horse. Do you mean, Carl? I love you.
Yeah,
Carl.
yeah, and
I think that's what I mean,
yeah. Like he did all his filming out of like a shed, and like he sat on a bar stool.
I get you. I'm with you.
Yeah, and he had like 4 shotguns hanging from the wall, just a single shot mule kicks. But yeah, he had like a pasture with horses and everything, but his whole entire recording studio was in his shed.
There we go, Carl. That's what I thought you meant, brother. Yeah, a shed, a shotgun, and a horse. He didn't have a shed on a shotgun. That'd be some balancing act, and probably illegal, wouldn't it, Carl? A shed, a shotgun, and a horse. Well, it takes all sorts, Carl. Takes all sorts, brother.
The horse was dragging it all.
Absolutely.
He put wheels on it and was riding around like Caligula.
Caligula was famous for something entirely different than that, brother.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But he did have a horse he loved.
Didn't he shag his own mum and eat his own kid or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. No, he shagged his own sister. That was it.
And ate his own mum.
Probably. Or he ate both. I don't know.
You've got to love those good old-fashioned Roman Friday nights out, haven't you? You know?
Yeah.
When there's nothing on the
Some
TV.
wine and cannibalism.
Yeah, when there's nothing on the TV, have the family round for dinner, nudge, nudge.
Right. Bring them hog-tied with an apple in their mouth.
He's like, hey, hog tied. I always imagine the film Deliverance, me, man.
Mm-hmm.
And squeal
Boy,
like a
you
pig.
got some purty lips.
Squeal like
Let's
a
see
pig.
how they work.
Mm. I can actually play that on the baked potato.
On the baked potato.
Yeah, man.
You got sour cream to go with it?
No. What you have guitar strings on a baked potato.
Guitar strings?
Yeah, well, I need to use up these guitar strings, man. You know, I've got to get through. I've got more guitar strings than you have potatoes. There's an imbalance. So I've had to invent a new musical instrument.
The potato carrot?
It's called the spudlophone.
The spudlophone?
Yeah, man.
That's wonderful. Dave's creating his own Frankenstein's lab.
You haven't heard it yet. You haven't heard it yet, brother.
Oh, jeez.
You haven't heard it yet.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, well, you know, you've got to try and use this. I'm up for recording and trying anything when it comes to going in the studio, me, man. Absolutely anything at all, you know. I remember that, like, one particular track, it's like no drums are allowed on this at all. What we'll do is we'll hit a toy's plastic bucket, you know, what they take to the beach when the beach isn't full of nuclear waste, but we won't go into that. But the plastic bucket, what a kid would take to the beach and that, and just like smacking it with a drumstick. Anything at all, anything at all that can like be incorporated into a tune, I'm up for it.
That's great.
Yeah, telling you, 2,000 quid on a microphone and 25p on a plastic bucket. So don't underestimate my ability to use a potato in the studio.
You sound like Zach Wilde when he grabbed his daughter's Hello Kitty acoustic guitar and started playing a Crazy Train.
Yeah, man. Well, it's been a long lockdown, Matt.
I know.
My head's absolutely...
Hello Kitty.
Go on, say it.
I said I'm surprised that Hello Kitty guitar held up to it. It was stronger than what I thought.
Absolutely love a Hello Kitty guitar. If anybody wants to donate a Hello Kitty guitar, it's not like I'm wanting for guitars, so I'm not going to lie and pretend that I've got lots of guitars. However, I do not own a Hello Kitty guitar or a Peppa Pig drum kit for that matter. So
Peppa Pig drum kit.
If anybody wants to donate anything to the studio.
Oh, that's great. I'm on it.
What's it? The TV show was called Walking with Jack Hargreaves. Carl said he's just not letting that one. He's just not letting that one go, is he?
Yes, that's who it is. Jack Hargreaves. Yeah, Hargreaves. Whatever.
Let me just sort something out in the side chat here that I've just seen, Matt. Right, Beth.
Oh, this.
Yeah, I will encourage anybody to breastfeed anything. I'm that kind of a person. You should know this.
He doesn't play favorites.
I don't know. I don't discriminate in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Beth. You know that. You know this, darling. In fact, I'm still disappointed that he didn't do it, quite frankly.
Right.
That would have made excellent YouTube video. That
it would have went viral. We all would have been sitting at like 5 million plus viewers.
Oh yeah, what you mean on top of the 2 million I've already got? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I can barely move for subscribers.
This jacuzzi tub is too full.
Let me tell you.
Oh, jeez.
You can't think straight for the fame.
You're right. Oh, I know. Whew. It's getting so hot in here from, all the love.
I think there's plenty of love in the side chat. I just don't think it's directed at us.
Oh, well, we can watch the orgy from here.
Watching the orgy from fire. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, yeah.
Right.
I can relate to that one only too well.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Raves. Don't listen. Raves. Don't tell her that.
Don't.
Let's be a fellow country person, as it were, and stay. Be on my side. Be on my side as a fellow. As a fellow UK, but no, you're probably right to side with Beth. To be fair.
Well, I side with you, Dave.
Nicole loves us.
Nicole always loves us.
Yeah,
I love you, Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole's cool.
Yes. Nicole sides with us. Whether she admits it or not. Oh.
Strange kind of love. I have ideas, guy. Yeah, we know you do.
Oh,
Carl.
jeez. Carl's got all this like majestic plan going in his head.
Nothing Carl has in his head is majestic. It's just purely perverted. There's no majesty. There's no majesty in Carl's head. It's all just filth.
Oh, jeez.
It's all good old-fashioned filth. Are you going to say hello to Queen Lost Souls Paranormal crew?
Hey, how you doing, sis? I don't even see that. I don't even see them. Oh, there she is. Hey! That flew by way too quick. I'm not used to the chat being this fast.
It has been trucking along at a fair speed sometimes tonight.
Yeah.
See you later. Try and survive in. Thanks for popping by on Matt's stream. I'll say it because he'll just ignore you like he does everybody else.
Take care, trying.
See you later.
Thanks for the cue. How you doing, Mystery?
Hey, Mystery.
Oh.
I think the thing is with your phone dying on you earlier when you was midway through your original planned stream, that sort of scuppered your plans to visit these different places where you could show us all these survival skills. So it's sort of like come crashing down in sheets of flame, really, hasn't it? This is the kind of stream you normally have on my channel, isn't it? Really?
I know. Yeah. It came crashing, with balls of fire and everything, like Notre Dame.
It's exactly the kind of thing that goes on,
Oh, it's okay. It's all good.
The people
We still.
They're thinking, he's on Matthew's stream. Please tell me he's not going to come back and start streaming.
Yes, he is.
Has he returned?
Oh God.
Nicole, you've not really missed anything that you've not experienced from us two in the past, quite frankly.
Right.
Yeah. She's a veteran.
It's okay. Yeah, she knows this. Ain't nothing wrong. You know how Matthew has ADD. He's like, ooh, squirrel. Then I forgot where I am.
Can I just compliment you on your hat, actually, Matthew? And I like the way that you're wearing it at a very rakish angle there, looking very suave, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Oh,
yeah.
Cheerio, good sir. Good. Cheerio.
See you later, Nicoleosis.
Bye, Nicole.
Nicole, I will continue to harass Matthew until he turns up with your donuts.
Yes. Actually, our Krispy Kreme shut down because of the big C.
Oh, custard.
Yes. Custard's last stand.
Yeah, custard has closed so many things over here in the UK, man.
Right.
I know you do.
Custard.
I know you do, Nicole. Trust me, I will endeavour to make it happen if it's at all within my power. I'll just keep barracking him until he turns up with raspberry donuts. You see, I remember that you want raspberry donuts.
I will get her raspberry donuts once they decide to. What the hell? Oh, sorry.
Custard and spotted dick, yeah. I can provide both of them actually. Well, actually, I've got no custard, but I can provide the spotted dick. But we won't go into that.
That's a rare delicacy.
Matthew, Mystery Schooler is asking if his link for his channel or her channel, I beg your pardon, can be posted, and Beth's wanting to know if there's permission for it.
Sure.
That was an unconvincing yes.
I've never had anybody ask to do that.
What he's saying is I've never been that popular before.
Right, yeah. Nobody's asked me to dance before. Oh. I bet Beth's happy that they're making an Elvis movie.
I bet Beth's happy anyway, just because the drugs are probably kicking in round about now.
All the drugs.
All the medication starting to take effect.
Right.
I think Al says, have you got leeches for him?
Cole taking Dunkin' Donuts Dunkin' coupon at this time. No. They do explode.
Is this the first time you've been on Matt's channel, Mystery Schooler, yeah?
Mystery Schooler's been here once or twice.
Oh, okay. There is creep for that. Yeah. The thing is, Raves, is I never take the medication, so I just put up with the condition, you know? and then I spread the love, as it were.
Yeah, tell Clown I said hey.
Ah, there you go,
Clown.
yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, there you go.
All my
I appear where I'm needed. You see,
I'm glad to hear that.
Conversely, Mystery Schooler, I normally appear where I'm not wanted. You're like the yin to my yang, as it were. I'm like a fart in a jacuzzi. No, a fart in a spacesuit, really. I'm sort of seen as I'm sort of seen as like a horny dog in a Miss Lovely Legs competition, you know.
That's great. Oh, jeez. All right, Raves. Oh, man.
Story of my friggin' life, I'm telling you.
Right.
Matthew doesn't mind me too much, though. But I think that's because I have him on my streams, too. So he feels obliged.
Jeez.
It's a guilt thing.
Guilt by association.
Oh, you've been condemned to that before, haven't you?
Yeah. Don't worry, Dave. When I come to the UK and everything, you're getting deported with me.
Oh, don't I know it? Yeah, you probably are the one person who will get me kicked out of my own country. Yeah.
I will. They're like, he came over here because of you.
Oh, don't mention roadie work, Carl. Jeez.
You're right. Roadie work is the glamour of it all, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fairly cool, isn't it? I mean, if you're not the artist, then it's the next best thing. You get to go on tour and hang out, and I'd say it's pretty
Right.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on Beth's pedal. Yeah, mystery. I deal with cryptids, but not that much anymore because there's so many other people out there that have better experiences than me.
Don't start that.
What?
Everybody's experience, whether it's in the cryptid community, paranormal, or even ufology, it's all personal and all relevant.
Oh yeah. I mean, even in survival, there's better people with more experience than everybody else.
Oh, the world is full of that.
Oh yeah.
There's a group. I'm not going to mention it, the name of it, but there's a group in the UK that deals with cryptids, and they've done a map, like
yeah.
what would you call it? Like come on, like a map of all the places in the UK where there's been experiences or sightings.
Yeah.
Yeah, a sightings map.
Yeah.
So I thought, when
I know what you're talking about.
I found this group. So I thought, oh, well, that's interesting, a map. And obviously it's of the UK where people have had experiences and seen cryptids and all that.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'll check out my local area, as it were. And expecting it to be around anything happening around the Manchester area.
Right.
And there was one right pretty much exactly where I live. That's strange. So I clicked on it. And when I read the description of the event, it's exactly describing my experience. Now, you know, and other people that in the side chat might know, that I actually done a stream on this about 2 years ago or so, something like that. I've done a video about it.
Yeah, you did a stream.
Yeah, describing that actual event, and they've sort of got the facts wrong a little bit. They've sort of mixed up two stories from two separate events that happened within 2 or 3 years of one another. And I've been so tempted to contact, the person who set it up and go, what year did this happen? When did this happen? Because it's me. That's my experience. I mean, the likelihood that it happened in that exact location in exactly the same way is pretty remote,
Well,
very unlikely to be coincidental.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but the BFRO has tracked every place that I've went to, even the places I've never said that I've been, and they recorded what I found there that I put on my YouTube channel because I'm a part of them.
Well, I just sort of wish in a way that I'd been approached, and so I could give the correct details about what went on. I haven't got any issue with it being listed there.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have any problems with it either, but I want recognition for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've got problems. Oh, let me tell you. Not related to that event, just problems in general.
Yeah.
See, Carl remembers it, and you do, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was there.
Yeah. I think I called it the shape or something because that was the only way to describe
Yep.
it. It was a humanoid shape.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now y'all need to
Strange.
go and check it out. Get the full story.
I can't. I'm scared. Oh no, wait, it's me, isn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
starting to get all nervous. Well, yeah, I have been tempted to contact them and saying, I can give you more information if you want it. I can give you like exactly what happened.
Yeah, they'll write a more detailed thing. It's just most likely it was probably heard downstream, and
Yeah.
they got bits and pieces of it, and
Yeah.
you know, like
I mean,
like a lot of.
they don't. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, Matt.
Oh,
I
you're
was just
good.
going to say that they don't have to name me. You know, they don't have to put my name up there. They can just give me a pseudonym like Sexual Chocolate or the Psychedelic Funk. Yeah, man, or the Psychedelic Funkopus. You know, I'm not after any kind of fame.
The psychedelic Platafunk.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
in 1987, there was a sighting by
right.
Sexual Chocolate. I think it has got the Drake tunnels actually, Carl. Like a map of all of the UK and various cryptids and strange going on. It's like what do they call it?
They're a collective, pretty much. Like a
from all
collective
over
of
the UK.
Sightings. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like an event map, if you like, throughout history of where different things have been seen, sighted, and experienced. So I would imagine they have, Carl. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Cannock Chase. Yeah. Like this the UK equivalent of the Skinwalker Ranch, I suppose.
Yeah. I want to go there.
Yes, I've been there.
Ooh. So you're going to go back again with me?
Well, yeah. If you wanted to go there, you was over in the UK, I would absolutely, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Let's do it.
Absolutely, I'd be up for that. The weirdest thing I experienced there was me. I was the weirdest thing there that night.
Oh, that's the same thing when I actually went to Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
Nothing happened out there. Like it was a silent 3 days. No, the only thing I saw was a herd of deer passing by. There was no shooting stars. There was no little green men coming around. There was none of that hype going on, you know? But it was also the beginning of winter.
I did experience. Well, I did see some strange lights, weird lights. I've got to be honest. In all truthfulness, yeah, there was some light forms in the woods and in the sky that were a little bit strange. You know, I don't know,
right.
a bit difficult to explain. I suppose some of the ones that were down towards the floor in the woods could be explained as being triboluminescent. You know, pockets of gas. I doubt it, but that would be a way of trying to explain it, I suppose. But I don't know. There's some very strange lights. The atmosphere was very much tangible, very strange. I don't know. Yeah, a couple of things did happen. Got to be honest.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that happened to me when I went to Skinwalker Ranch was before when I walked in and before they opened up the gates to actually allow me onto the property. Like, I don't know. I felt like static on my skin. Like it's hard to feel. It's hard to say. Like it raised up the hairs on my arms, but after I walked through, I didn't feel nothing after that. But I don't know if it was electricity from the actual fence or what, because it came. I mean, it went as quick as it came. So, but yeah, it kind of pissed me off.
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I expected to be, putting Bigfoot in a headlock or whatever on there, but
Well, as far as like ufology goes, like there was different hotspots throughout different times in history. It's well known. The mid 90s, late 90s was massively
active.
Mexico City with the ovnis. They're known as all the ovni waves coming over Mexico City and stuff. But another place was Bonnybridge in Scotland, which became famous for some sightings that occurred over something like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. But of course, this led to, as it does with any kind of paranormal or supernatural type of event, legend, urban legend, myth, the rest of it. So people from all over the UK or people interested in ufology would travel to Bonnybridge with the expectations of seeing the same thing from this event that happened in the past, and that's always the danger, is when you go to historically active locations, if you like. Noted places. You can't say for sure. Obviously, I suppose this goes without saying, that there's going to be activity when you get there, or indeed that you're going to experience anything whilst you are there. And a big chunk of the time that I spent was private residential investigations, as you know. Although I've done a big chunk of the well-known ones throughout the UK, I've been lucky enough to do them. But the vast majority of what I've done was actually helping people at grassroots level. People experience actual activity in their homes and at the places of business and so on and so forth. So it was always different and always sort of like new. Always different and always new. So the expectation wasn't the same as it would be going to a famous location and expecting to see something that somebody else experienced 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago or whatever.
Right. And that's another thing that gets me about like cryptid sightings and stuff. People still go to known locations of cryptid sightings that happened 30, 40 years ago, and but unlike UFO, ufology and spirits and stuff like that, cryptids, are more nomadic. They don't stay in a place for 20, 30 years, like, and come back to it. But there could be, like with ufology, that one specific place could have some kind of resource that they need to farm. It could have some kind of, like I don't know, like a calling spot to them, somewhere that is safe for them to either land or be able to be like transported down from their ship or whatever. And it's so hard to judge UFOs and spirits on the same level as cryptids, even though they're all connected in a way, but they're still completely different entities,
Well, I mean, it's I was just seeing Mystery Schooler there saying a lot of activity in law from Scotland. Absolutely, is a few sightings in Ben Macdui, in the mountain of Ben Macdui, which led to the legend of the Grey Man, or as he's now known, I suppose, would be Amphier Liath Muir,
Right.
the Grey Man, which is basically, basically an elongated. I want to choose my words.
Come on, Clo.
Mm,
Hold on.
no, you're all right. What did he just say? Come on, what? I didn't hear what he said then.
Trying to get my dog out.
Oh, right. Okay. I wondered what was going on. So, which is basically the so-called
I'm back.
apparition that gets seen, which is the way that the light's reflected in the clouds and the altitude, the mist that
Go
come
potty.
down upon the tops of the mountains. So,
Yeah. My dog, she's getting too old. It's hurting her to get up. Like,
excuse me.
it's gonna kill me when she passes away.
Well, the family, in it, Matt.
Yeah.
Pets are family.
She's been everything to me. She's protected this house from when she was a pup. She used to go and kill bobcats and like bring them up on the porch, and like that was her trophy. Like she would sit there until I woke up in the morning, and she's like, look at me, give me a treat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that affinity in it.
Yeah. She used to travel all the trails with me, and now she can't get up in the car and get out and walk very far because her arthritis is hurting her and stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off.
No, Matt. You never apologize for what you do on your own stream, brother. That just leads to failure.
Right.
Never apologize. Yeah, it's you do what you want, man. I agree with that as well, Raves. It's never easy losing pets. Like I said a second ago, in my opinion, the family members, pets, if they're around for a part of your life, but you're all of theirs.
Yeah.
Their entire life revolves around you.
You are their pet. You're their pack. What's wrong, Chloe? You okay? All right. She's just wagging her tail and staring at me like through the trees.
I personally think that would be the best way to view you, would be peering at you through the trees. from a,
Right.
no, seriously. Yeah, from a distance, just peering at you through the trees. Surreptitiously watching to see what you get up to. Yeah.
That's what she does all the time. Yeah, she's like she looks at me like I'm dumb when I'm sitting there like cutting trees, and like when I'm like cutting wood and splitting wood and stuff, and she just like picks up a branch and like drops it in my lap, and I'm like, what? It's not processed. Why are you dropping this in my lap? And she just looks at me like, I'm helping you. I'm like, thanks, dog.
Hello, Vinny.
Hey, Vinny, how you doing, brother? I'm sorry, Mittens.
Yeah,
I
know
got
what
4
you mean.
cats too. Yeah, she's a good girl.
Well, she's still around, so don't start lamenting her. Yeah, she's still there.
Oh yeah, and she's still an ass. So.
Yeah, she's still around. That's what matters. soul destroying when it happens, though, but nice and cheery.
Right?
Yeah, good old cheery
Hey,
conversation.
congratulations.
600, cool.
Good job. Good job,
Yep.
Kenny. I don't really keep track of mine.
No, I don't.
I just keep
think,
track
I
of
don't
who's
think I
in the
do.
chat. And I have a hard time with doing that.
Yeah, that's why I'm always here to interrupt.
Right?
Mattis interrupters, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think I'll do another live stream tomorrow.
Yeah, why not, man?
Because I gotta go and pick up a lot of things. I'm actually thinking about doing a video on turning one of those tool backpacks into a survival bag and not buy like name brand whatever, like 120-liter mountain hiking backpack and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I do know what you mean, yeah. Doing good
Because it
this
seems
way.
like a really good idea.
Really? Because I think it's a terrible idea.
You say that about my wardrobe all the time, sir.
I'm just trying to keep you on your toes, that's all.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Why not?
Yeah. Because that's one of the problems with like what society has put on people. Like, there used to be that show Doomsday Preppers, right? And they would take like 5 or 6 preppers that are each one is preparing for a different end of the world scenario, right? And like Bjork, the singer.
I do.
Bjork.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a house on an island. I believe it's in Greenland or Iceland, but it's on its own little island in the middle of nowhere. Well, Bjork bought that house because a rich person in that country had the idea that the zombie apocalypse was going to happen and spent a lot of money on building this house in an island in the middle of the ocean, and zombies couldn't get to them. Well, 20, 30 years later, the person died. And the zombie apocalypse never happened. So Bjork ended up buying that exact same house that's on that island, and she hated that place too. So it's now for sale again. And like there's nothing on that island. Nothing. Just a house. And I like that was a thing on Doomsday Preppers. There was a person that was like saving up money to buy that house. And he had like he had a house already in California or something that was his stockpile house. And he was scared that a nuclear, like a tsunami or something like that, was going to hit California and destroy California. So he was going to move to that island if it happened, like if it was going to happen, and get prepared. And but the reality, like most preppers and stuff don't have that much money. Most of us are barely surviving and getting by with what we have, and we can't afford, knives that are like $5,000, like Falcon even. You know, Falcon even A1 knife is like $5,000 for it. And I see people all the time with that knife on, on their channels. Like, oh, look at my Falcon even A1 knife. But they're so afraid to use it because they spent $5,000 on it, And if I buy something, I buy it to use it, Like, and that $5,000 could go to stocking up food. That could go to fixing up my RV. That could do a shitload of stuff instead of buying one piece of metal that I could forge myself,
I do know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But that's going to be the case, isn't it? I mean, in many instances, you will see, especially when it used to be niche. It's not niche now; it's fashionable.
Right.
For certain subjects to be represented on YouTube, should we say?
Yeah.
The paranormal and survival being just two examples. But these bigger channels are the people that are sort of like at the forefront, and I use that term in inverted commas, at the forefront of leading the charge for the information within them fields to be using top of the range equipment that most people can't afford. But in many ways, they also serve as an advertising board for that product.
Right.
I mean, I've had my ups and downs like anybody else when it's come to either being on my ass, being skint, and not being able to afford anything, to being financially okay and being able to buy lots of equipment. And you can also run the risk of not just having one piece of equipment you're never going to need. I mean, I've got you know me, Matthew, when it comes to just things like EMF meters. That 5,000. I've probably got about $5,000 worth of EMF meters. I can only hold one at a time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Unless you become Shiva.
I'm like, yeah, unless I become, I do that in like Hindu type stuff. But the thing is, for me, it's, well, I've not done a paranormal investigation for something like 8 months.
Yeah.
So it's just the same kind of thing, if you're going to buy things and not use them.
Oh yeah. And but it's also, you save up enough money because you hear all the hype and everything about certain equipment, certain whatever, like in survival and paranormal, whatever. You save up this money and you buy that, and you're the one that actually gets something that doesn't hold up to its name,
Oh, don't I know it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I spent almost $500 on a below zero down sleeping bag that is also considered a tent because it builds you build a barrier over on top of it and you sleep on it, and it's got like this hanging thing where you're off of the ground, so the ground doesn't absorb your heat.
Yeah.
And I spent like $500 on that. And the thing is, its weight was for like 210 pounds, okay? And I'm 170 pounds. And when I got in there, I think I lasted maybe 2 hours on it. And the suspension on it that's supposed to hold me off of the ground snapped in the middle of the night and dropped me flat on my back onto rocks. And
so you were freezing your bollocks off.
Yeah. And I got sores all down my spine and everything. Like, it, from just that fall and not, being asleep and everything, that could have injured me badly, And,
hello, Deanna.
Hey, Deanna, how you doing, my favorite little cryptid? That's my favorite cryptid right there.
Hi, Deanna. Oh, Deanna.
Yeah, Deanna. She's my
Yeah,
favorite cryptid.
she's a cheeky monkey.
Mm-hmm. You got to watch out for that one.
No, I know. Yeah, don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm only too aware.
But there was so much hype about it and everything, and it's like, what if I was in a situation and I spent my money to buy that, and I was on a through hike or whatever, and I literally hurt myself to the point where I could not, and I'm like, try like 800 miles away from civilization, like some of this stuff just can't be trusted. And the thing with like, preppers and all this stuff, they buy all this glory hound gear and never once test it to see if it works. And they just rely on it, having that idea that if something happens, it's going to work. And they know nothing about it. But I guess you can say the same thing about people that buy all this buku electronic stuff for like paranormal things. They don't know anything about it or how it works or whatever. And
well, you see, that's the difference between some of us and the rest of us, Matt.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That is what, you know my background in electronics and amateur radio and stuff. I'm building different bits of equipment. It's different for me because I do understand how they work and I do understand how flawed they are and how there is no way any piece of equipment that's out in the market that people buy can empirically prove anything whatsoever, that anything paranormal exists in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
People don't want to wear that.
Right.
Because it ruins the dream,
Yeah. It's like,
it ruins the dream.
look what I got. It's like, okay, Baofeng radios, right?
I do, yeah. Baofeng, yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah. I bought one. I saved up for it and everything, and I bought it. And the battery's bad on it. And
Is this a UV5?
Yes.
A UV5, yeah.
And the battery is bad on it. And I contacted the company. They told me to send the battery back to them because it could leak cancerous materials out. And I have to put it in like a safeguarded plastic bag. I had to wait for them to send me the disposal kit to send back to them. And they sent me another battery, and I did the whole entire 24-hour charge on the battery, everything that they said. And when I put it in, it's still not working on me. And I don't know why. And, I spent $110 on that, and they won't send me a refund. They just keep telling me to send it back and they'll send me a replacement. They won't just take it back and send me a refund. And
well,
I don't want something.
The thing is, sorry, Matt, I was just going to say is for the most part, the Baofengs, I've got a few Baofengs. I've got a UV82, a UV5, and the GTT3P. So I've got a few Baofengs, and they're normally really reliable. It just sounds like you've ended up with a duff one. So I wouldn't write them off entirely because they are fairly reliable. Fairly reliable. I mean, you're talking about a walkie-talkie, aren't you? A handy-talkie.
Yeah, well, it's the ham radio version. It's got like 300 different channels on it.
Yeah. I don't mean the frequencies that it covers. I mean the design, the physical shape of it is a handheld, isn't it?
Yeah. The handheld. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what I use at work. And I mean, we use the Baofangs at work. And I know they're a good brand. That's why I bought one. But just the one I got, it's just shit.
Them lot in the side chat are throwing K2s at one another now. They're attacking
K2s at each
yeah,
other.
they're attacking one another with K2s in the side chat.
I know. I'm trying not to watch it.
Yeah, you stay true to your conversation, Matt. Ignore them. Absolute madheads.
Right. But it's just, I want to trust technology, but every time I've got technology, it's bad to me, like I don't know what it is. I don't know if like it's just my luck or what with it. The only thing I've never had a problem with is my spot GPS locator. I've never had a problem with that.
Yeah, you're sort of like an inverse Midas, you aren't you? Everything you touch turns to shit.
Right. I mean, what about the pyramid of disappointment that I
I
bought?
remember. Yeah, the pyramid of regret. I remember it well. Yeah. Did it explode in your face or something like that? It was brilliant.
It had a chaotic moment where it just started going crazy like police lights, and then a puff of smoke came out of it, and I smelled like burning wires, and it died.
Brilliant. Yeah, the most impressive response ever captured on a piece of paranormal equipment, I'd say.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're not putting me through any of this again. No. It took the cyanide pill.
Yeah, it's like Harry Carey, weren't it? I mean, how long did it actually last? Was it when you turned it on? Was it something like 43 seconds?
Yeah. It just, I thought, because it said it was going to go to a reboot phase,
Yeah.
like a boot phase.
Yeah, I
And
remember you
it says,
saying, yeah.
yeah, it said it'll start blinking green to red, green to red, kind of like a Simon Says thing, so it could a custom made or whatever. And it did green to red, then it just started going green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, and smoke came up and it just died. It went
He's brilliant.
I was like, those goes $25. Oh, jeez.
You pay, you get what you pay for, and you paid for shite.
Damn you, eBay.
Yeah. Shake your fist. Damn you, eBay.
Damn you.
But the possibilities. I remember when you ordered it, like, when you first bought it. You said, I haven't turned it on yet, Dave. All the excitement was there. Ooh, what's it going to be like? And I sort of thought, I've got an idea what it's going to be like, Matthew. It's going to be shit. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be shit. And it didn't.
Right.
It didn't disappoint me, but it did disappoint you.
Yeah. I was like, maybe I'm going to get something good.
Did you what was them other devices? Didn't you go into like a thrift store or something and pick up a load of what were those? Were they sensors or something? What did you get?
Yeah, it's called a tri-field sensor, a tri-field electric sensor. And,
oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, you're supposed to set it up. You're supposed to set it up in a triangle in a certain location, and it creates a magnetic wave through the three of them. And if anything passes through it, it's supposed to set off an alarm. And well, one of the sensors aren't picking up the other two sensors. So yeah. So I got to get that sensor fixed on it. And the guy that I took it to at electronics shop, he said it's going to take it's going to be about $25 to fix it. And well, $25 for the part and $50 to fix it. So $75 to get it up and running. Then I got an elf meter.
Yeah, the elf zone meter.
Yeah. I
Your little
like
white
that.
box with 3 LEDs on it.
Yep.
I know it
Haven't
well,
tried
yeah.
it yet,
Okay.
but I hope good things out of it. And I've always heard that those things can survive, World War III and still live.
I know what you mean, Derek. I'm not referring to that sense. I'm referring to understanding the relationship with inductance and capacitance within a tuned circuit that comprises a measuring device.
Yeah. What he said.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how the equipment works.
How it picks up on each frequency.
How it works, the mechanics of how it works and how it's scientifically viable is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because I've got thousands of pounds worth of gear, loads of it.
Oh yeah.
If anything, it's ridiculous. Doesn't stop me buying it. My gums are flapping, and I'm saying, "Oh," but it doesn't stop me buying it. I still buy the thing.
It's got a new color LED. I've sold.
I forget. Actually, I just said that. I've forgot the last piece of equipment. No, it was those EDIs. I've got 3 of those EDI meters, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the last.
Didn't you buy a new EMF detector just because it has different color LEDs?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Guilty. Yeah.
It's the same thing, but it just has different
I know.
LEDs.
I know. I have actually. I've got no defense for that. I'm also not scared of just changing all the LEDs in other meters just so they look different. There's I'm not even joking. When you're using night vision, one of the blue LED stands out so much in 850 nanometer night vision. In 850 nm, not quite the same in 940, but in 850 nanometers, like infrared. Blue LEDs stand out really, really well. And when you've got them in locations, and you're just like lying around in certain rooms, you hit a location with 6 or 7 rooms, and you've got various locked off cameras and stuff. Stick blue LEDs in them because you'll capture it a lot easier than you will any other color. So of course that means I'm ripping these things apart now, aren't I? Because I want to solder all these blue LEDs in it. So yeah, I've got a form for doing that as well. So you're absolutely correct, Matthew. We do that, yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing, it's. I hate saying that all this is a hobby, I mean, unless you got a bedazzled shirt and some Ray-Bans, nobody's literally making money doing any of this stuff. And unless you have a signed deal with Gerber or whatever, you're really not making money on any of this stuff.
I think a lot of people are passionate about it, though, Mark. They're passionate about it, aren't they? And that passion is what drives it. It's just sometimes that passion also fuels unadulterated belief without any kind of there's bias. There's like preconditioned cognitive bias to a belief system when people get into the paranormal.
Yeah,
and people will deny it, but there is a bias towards automatic belief without trying to debunk or any level of skepticism. For the most part.
Yeah. Well, it's the same way with any field, it's biasism in survival, biasism in bushcrafting. I mean, there's even like bushcrafting purists, like they believe that bushcrafting should be how our ancestors did it, like like Norwegians, they believe bushcrafting should be only done how their Viking ancestors should do it and no other way, like, and, but it's one of those things, like, they truly believe, and they want it to be this way only because that's all they've ever known and all they've ever studied, and it's like people throwing around the D word, in paranormal or whatever, because they truly believe that their encounter was of demonic, whatever. And there's there's a handful of people out there that truly believe that they were possessed by a demon and not, controlled by, I don't know, say an evil spirit or whatever, Are you okay?
I'd be interested to hear how you go along with that, actually, Debs. With the light strips. I'm just reading the side chat there. You'll have to let us know how you get on with it. See you later, mystery.
No problem, Derek. I don't care. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't. There's a difference between people that full-heartedly believe what they're doing is the right thing, and then there's people that really don't know what they're doing at all and get put in dangerous situations because they're just either playing a part or not doing history, or like I call them weekend warriors, guys that go to these survival, like weekend events, 3-day survival courses or whatever, and they believe, oh, I survived for 3 days out in somebody's 200 acres. I can do it in a real life, survival scenario. And it's kind of the same way with other fields, like they go to these places and they end up pissing something off or whatever and literally getting hurt because they're trying to play a part. I don't know. Maybe I'm just misreading a lot of stuff, but that's how I feel.
No. No, I don't think you are. That's that exactly, Beth. There's a lot of people that do it just purely for the attention. Absolutely. As they say, It was working right from plug and play, but my desk just slightly. Yeah, well, I will be interested to see how we get along with it, though, because Debs, because I you know me, I'm interested in all kinds of technical and electrical kind of gubbins that might be of interest. So keep me updated, or I hope you crack on with it anyway.
Dave, he's the Q of paranormal gear.
Yeah, I've tried to not do that anymore. I don't do the paranormal anymore, Matthew. That's me.
Yeah.
Retired from that.
I don't do the cryptids anymore either.
Yeah, I've come away from all that rubbish. Come away from all that shenanigans. I'm living a real life now, damn it.
You're right.
And I knew you wouldn't believe me.
Yeah. Oh no, I was going with you.
I'm trying, Matt. I'm trying to be a reformed character as opposed to a deformed.
You're trying to reform yourself.
I'm trying, brother.
Oh,
Hey, I've took some
reform yourself.
I've took some very, very, very drastic moves. I've took all the batteries out of my K2 meters.
Oh, did you? Your
Yes,
rechargeable ones?
all of them, all of them. All the meters are in storage. Not a single battery is in place.
You sound like Batman.
I won't even mention the EDI meter that's at the side of the bed with a spirit box, but you know.
That's just in case.
Yeah, just ignore that. That's in case I do decide.
You're right. And you
I
got
see
it
the
at a
error on my
moment's
way.
notice.
Yeah. Welcome back. All is forgiven.
Right. Oh, Deanna, I'll never stop, tracking you, girl. You're my favorite cryptid.
Really, really sounds sinister, that.
I know, right? Like,
Yeah, that's why I'm glad you said it though, for that reason alone.
be that face at the window breathing.
Yeah, gonna be
breathing.
the guy stood in the bushes peering. Yeah, you're gonna be a guy at the window causing all the condensation with your hot fetid breath.
Right. I'll breathe the condensation on the window and draw a small little heart with a knife in it.
Yeah, just to be really, really serial killerish.
Right. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, if in doubt, get the breathing on the window out.
Why doesn't Bigfoot ever do that? Like just stare in the window and breathe heavily, then just draw a heart.
They can't do things like that, Matthew. The trans-dimensional creatures, remember?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot.
They don't have a breath. They travel via spaceships.
Yeah, extra dimension. Oh, they can go to multiple, dimensions and planets and all this stuff, but they walk around, the woods naked, hooping and howling at each other.
To travel through multiple dimensions and all around the universe, but they still leave footprints and they can't get any decent footwear.
Right. They still shit in the woods.
No, you're thinking of the Pope, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, my bad. They're pretty much on the same level.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, actually, yeah. Does the Pope shit in the woods? Yeah,
Does a bear preach?
Absolutely agreed, Eric. Absolutely agree with that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Or when you take into psychology, you can explain away another massive percentage of them too. But people don't want to hear that either.
No. It's like people don't want to hear biology and critical thinking of cryptids. Like, oh no, they got a couch and TV in a cave somewhere, like the TV show The Dinosaurs.
What?
You like that reference?
Yeah, I do actually.
Daddy Bigfoot goes out and works his 9 to 5, breaking down trees to earn his acorn paycheck. Oh.
Yeah, well, that's it, innit?
Yeah.
Science hasn't got the answer to everything. No, but it does a bloody good job of explaining away a lot of it, though, doesn't it?
Right.
You see, to be a cryptozoologist or cryptid hunter, I think it's a sort of basic understanding of both paleontology, climatology, zoology, biology.
Right.
I would say is would be a benefit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and basic understands of different biomes. Like
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the microcosms within the macrocosm, especially when it comes to
yeah,
growing
yeah.
foodstuffs absolutely.
I mean, if like most of these people that go out to locations and everything, they don't even look at the natural resources of that area. How far away is the closest natural water source? How many edible plants can you find within, 100 meters of walking distance? You know, if
Well,
there's
I think
not enough food source,
if you're looking, sorry, Matt, to interrupt you again,
you're
brother,
good.
there, but
You're good.
if you're judging that foodstuffs or food sources to be relevant to a human being, then we
Yeah,
don't know for sure. Though we've got ideas what the foodstuffs or the relevant sustenance can be gathered from within particular areas for Bigfoot. Going to be
right.
completely different than humans, aren't they?
Well, yeah, to an extent. I mean, because like orangutans can only, I mean, like great apes can only eat maybe 4 different species of poisonous plants that humans
Hmm.
cannot ingest.
Yeah. Before they themselves can be susceptible to being death.
Right. Um, but they will only eat, I mean, they'll eat all the natural food sources in an area. Like, that's why, the gorillas were so hard to find, is because they only stayed in one area for up to maybe maybe a week at most if it was plentiful. But they
Same
were
with the pandas, actually.
constantly,
The same with the pandas.
and
That's why they were sort of viewed as being cryptids. People didn't believe that. When were they discovered? The late 1800s?
yeah, like
80
1880,
something?
18, yeah,
Yeah. And the gorillas were the 1920s?
yep. And I mean, we consider them, mythological, like we didn't even consider them cryptids. We considered them myths, urban legends, like they didn't even find the first skeleton until, what was it, 1905?
I'm mythical, Matt. I can barely believe I exist.
Oh, I know, you're a majestic unicorn frolicking around.
Oh, I'm something. I'm something, all right. I'm not going to... I'll let people decide. All right, see you later, Deanna. Take it easy. Yeah.
Take care, Dionysus. But
Shire.
yeah, 1889. Oh my God, wooden spoon. How you doing? But it even if nobody else understood anything else, like just the comparison between humans and Sasquatch, like look at look at Shaquille O'Neal. Look at Andre the Giant. Okay, Andre the Giant was 8 foot tall, 500-pound human being, a hulking human being, right? He he was 500 pounds at 8 foot tall, but they're considering Sasquatches around 8 foot tall to be in the range of 700 to 800 pounds.
Yeah, you're talking about a type 1.
Yeah, the type 1.
Yeah,
Just
so a
the
patty.
basic patty. Um, in that mindset, okay, on a human scale, Andre the Giant had to eat over 30,000 calories on each meal, and he had up to 5 meals a day to keep his peak performance. And that's not talking about supplements and all this stuff that he was taking. And you're telling me a Sasquatch that's the same height and around the same weight and build can survive on a handful of nuts and, you know, say wild asparagus or whatever for 30 years in the same location. No, that is 100% no, that they can't, because there's not enough resources because of growing seasons
Well, to be
to
fair, I think
survive.
it also needs to be said that Andre the Giant was also suffering from acromegaly,
Yeah,
which is he had conditions, which is why he was
yeah,
the size he was, enhanced metabolism and things like that. So he had medical conditions while he was doing that, wasn't he? And let's be honest, out of
yeah.
the two of them, I think Andre the Giant would have, he was the right choice for the Princess Bride. I don't think Sasquatch would have pulled it off.
Right? I mean, and it shows like people that have small cases of gigantism are are slower thinkers than ordinary humans. Like their reaction times and stuff like that. It and but Sasquatches, how are they interdimensional beings being that tall? Like I'm not downing people that have gigantism. My younger brother has gigantism. He's almost 8'2", and he's almost 800 pounds. And he's my younger brother. And he literally is a Sasquatch to me. I'm 6'2", and I know from firsthand experience, like my younger brother takes a longer time to think and takes a longer time to react to certain things, even pain. Like I've seen him put his hand on on the stove eye after it already cooled down and everything, but it was still, hot. He put his hand on there, and about 5 minutes later, he realized that it was hot and pulled his hand away. And, it's they can figure out certain things, but doing the things that people expect them to believe and making excuses for this stuff is not fact. It's not physically assuring. You know what I mean? It sounds like they're making up excuses for stuff that they can't explain.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would be explainable and therefore not left to people who do it as a hobby, to use your terminology. It would be
Right.
accepted by mainstream science, by the establishment and or the government, and they would do it instead, wouldn't they? And it would be set in science then. It would be the norm. It would be accepted.
Right. And see, like what Shire said, yeah, 30. But Eddie Hall isn't that tall. He isn't in that category as Andre the Giant was. And
He doesn't
Hall
have to be
has
that. He doesn't have to be that tall, though, Matthew. It's what he does that he needs the calories for.
Oh, true.
He's a power lifter, isn't he?
Yeah. But even then, 12,000 calories for somebody that's a power lifter, and they're trying to say that Sasquatches can rip trees out of the ground. So what do you think the calorie intake on something that strong would have to take to be at peak performance, to rip a full-grown tree out of the ground, like what people claim it can do? I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't find 6,000 calories in the 7 acres that I live.
I've seen any locations where there's the alleged sightings been, and even my limited knowledge of that kind of thing is it doesn't look massively hospitable to be able to feed a single individual, let alone a group or family of these things, to sustain them for any length of time. And it's to use the excuse, well they move about, they go where the food is. Well, you've just got to look at everything else. They will use up the resources, then move. But you know, to where new resources are, then use up those resources, then move. But we're not seeing massive areas where everything's been stripped of resources for these things to move, to leapfrog from place to place, which to me suggests they either don't exist whatsoever, or there's so few of them, it's negligible the impact that they have.
Right. And that's what I've been saying. You know, there's not it like people claiming, oh, there's 5 or 6 Sasquatches living in my backyard. Oh, is there? Well, why don't you have proof of it? Why don't you show me the territory that they're at? Why don't you show me the foraging habits of them? Because if there's 5 or 6 of them, there's going to be gigantic holes dug trying to find wild potatoes. They're going to be, you know, your stream and your river are going to be bare of fish. I mean, you're not going to have any.
There's going to be feces. There's going to be the leftover byproducts of something living in that area. End of. There is with everything in nature, you know.
Yeah. Oh no, they're transdimensional. They go to another dimension to go shit.
Absolutely. They're only in physical form when they're eating, but they disappear to the 4th dimension when they go to lay a chocolate fudge cake.
Right. You know, privacy, Dave. You see what I'm talking about? Like, this is why it drains on me about cryptozoology and people putting more into it than what is truly out there. Because half of the people that's writing all this stuff have never once set foot out. They're just doing research on what everybody else has researched.
Well, that's what you know. To be fair, that's what research is really. If somebody out in the field, or a field researcher or an investigator, can be a different animal than somebody who just does research. I mean, they're not mutually exclusive. They can be one and the same. But there are a lot of people who've wrote books who are considered experts that have never had an experience themselves, but they've compiled knowledge from people who have, and that's fundamentally what a researcher is, isn't it? I mean, if you're an historian, you're ostensibly a researcher, and you can speak about the Battle of Bunker Hill or the American Civil War. You're a researcher into the Civil War, but you weren't there. You weren't at the Battle of Antietam or Gettysburg or Chancellorsville. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh yeah. It's just, I mean, there's mounds and mounds of shit that we have to dig through to find the one corn kernel that's in it all.
I always like I always like you when you're so optimistic, Matt.
I'm sorry.
when you're a ray of sunshine, I love it. Basically, I'm fucking sick of them motherfuckers, is what he's saying, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, everybody's free to speak their own mind. That's all good and glorious, but don't pull me into your metaphysical, you know, psychedelic trip of, you know, because no, I need reality.
I don't. I am
you
absolute.
don't?
No, I'm easily swayed. In fact, I think there are Sasquatch, multi-dimensional Sasquatch out there that walk around with a blue rinse like an octogenarian human old woman. I think they're out there. Yeah, I think there's middle-aged Sasquatch that have like they have a pipe and slippers, smoking jacket.
Opening up the Sasquatch Times.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely, 100%.
What did old Junior do today?
Telling you, absolutely believe in them. And when they're not traveling through portals into different dimensions, they fly in spaceships. Everybody knows
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh, shit, I forgot. That's not fur on their body. That's their space suit.
Hey, Matt, where do you think Wookiees come from?
Dumbass.
Where do you
Oh,
think
I
the idea?
know.
Where do you think the ideas for Wookiees come from?
Jeez.
Mm,
Wookiees.
yeah, man.
Sasquatches are Chewbacca.
They are
Gotcha.
Chewbacca. They are. That's exactly what they are.
Oh, we have solved the mystery, Dave.
We have, and that bandolier that they wear is actually containing loads of meals ready to eat because they can't survive off the fucking wilderness.
That's why they invented the bow blaster, so they can,
Telling you,
instead
man.
of running after their food, they just shoot it.
They were cool, those bow blasters, man.
I know.
Not what I expected the Wookiees to be armed with. Really, really cool.
Right?
I like that. Yeah.
I expected them to be armed with, a tree trunk, like Sasquatch.
Hey, do you know what, Carl? I've been to some pubs where it's probably true that they do work in the basement.
They're the dishwashers.
I'm telling you. He's probably talking about his neck of the woods in the Midlands.
The Dorset.
I don't understand why there's an element of doubt in that question there, Shia, about Matthew being optimistic. Everybody knows that he's a veritable ray of sunshine.
I am a glorious rainbowic.
Yeah, shame on you, Shia. Shame on you.
Right. Playing banjos. That's where the banjo music comes from in the South. You got a toothless Sasquatch up in the tree playing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
With his jar of moonshine.
Squeal like a human, boy.
Right. Squeal like a wild boar.
Squeal like a human.
Oh man. I'll make you squeal in a higher pitched tone, boy. Mm-hmm. Oh God.
Oh, good luck with that one. Oh,
You're right.
Hey Derek, you'll come in. You'll get a nice list of Germanic shitarks researching that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that one for all the German weirdos.
Germans. Them they're Germans.
Mustard and biscuits.
Mm-hmm. Slaughter me some mustard on them biscuits. Mm-hmm.
Mustard on them biscuits, boy.
Mm-hmm. Sling bladed. Oh jeez. I think that's what happened. I think all the Sasquatches just moved to the South, found banjos, and found a trailer park.
Oh dear God.
Could you just see it now?
I want to see a Sasquatch with a mullet.
I want to see a Sasquatch with a wife beater.
And a mullet.
Yeah, and a mullet. Oh God.
I'm not gonna let you talk me out of this mullet, Matthew. It's not happening.
Sasquatch and a mullet. and his 1963 Fat Boy Harley.
That actually sounds like a really cool cryptid.
I know, right?
you know what the percentage of sightings has been? Excuse me, over the last couple of years. Are they going up or down?
Of that? Oh, it's always seen every year at Sturgis. Every year at Sturgis, you see that.
No, I'm on about as far as the BFRO are concerned regarding sightings, the percentage of sightings going up or down.
Oh, of just normal Sasquatch.
Yeah, not a Sasquatch wearing a wife beater with a Mohican or a mullet.
Oh, I mean, with with BFRO, the sightings are around every week. There's a sighting, but it's not descriptive sightings. It's just, oh, they saw a hairy creature on the side of the road at this location. Nothing like,
Okay.
yeah, nothing with real events or anything. It's just like, passerbys saw something crossing the road or crossing a backwoods, Some people, but it's not that many. It's really not that many
See,
compared to
that's
the
the.
long.
Sorry, bro. I'm just going to say that's the
Oh, you're good.
equivalent of somebody seeing what we call in the ufology lits,
Yeah.
which is basically lights in the sky, nothing else, just a distant light. Like you might see a satellite go over a pinpoint of light, traverse the
Mm-hmm.
sky. Well, a distant encounter like that, they'll see just some random lights in the sky, no form,
Yeah.
no other description, and that's the kind of thing that mostly people will see. And most UFO organizations won't even log them. So I'm surprised at the BFRO logging those kind of sightings.
Yeah.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Oh, I do. Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, a lot of the sightings are people from the city that are going to go meet family members that say they have an uncle that owns a farm and they're going up there for the week to stay. And they're driving on a back road that's dimly lit, if not, you know, no light at all. And they catch a furry creature on the side of the road with the dim lights of their car. That could have been a bear on the side of the road. That could have been a mountain lion. It could have been anything because they don't give a full description of it, that it was bipedal. They don't give anything other than a hairy creature on the side of the road.
Well,
So
for what it's worth, and for anybody who might be interested, I don't know how to squeal like a piggy, so I'm definitely staying away from the south. I just
I
wanted to
don't know
throw
how
that
to.
out. I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's why I got out of the South. I believe that there are a tribe of Sasquatches. How can you explain that have been spotted in California? Well, the thing is, they are nomadic creatures, Derek. They're the thing. There is multiples of them all over, and that's where the first Sasquatch sighting in history was found, was in California with the Patterson-Gimli film. I mean, the Patty type is known to be in California, but it also has migrated around to other states also. But being a tribe to be in more because there's not enough natural resources for a major group to travel as one. They are more solitude creatures than they are a group. Because of the lack of food. That's why there's been more spottings of Sasquatch in cities during the epidemic, getting food out of dumpsters and people's trash cans and stuff. Like in New York City, there was a sighting at the beginning of the epidemic that a 8-foot tall man wearing a fur coat was in the back of an Italian restaurant digging through the dumpster and eating out of it. And when they came to confront it, it jumped up, grabbed the top of a 10-foot wall, pulled itself over, jumped over it, and was never seen again. But, you know, those are the kind of stories that you get. You don't see, a group of Sasquatch together. You don't get anything like that. I mean,
Indeed, apart from one video, I can't remember where it was taken, where they're trying to allege that it's a group of Sasquatch crossing a road, which was actually been explained away as being bears. But a group of Sasquatch crossing the road. Almost every so-called, and I use the term loosely, video evidence has always been of singular, apart from maybe one or two where they allegedly carry in the young. There isn't any evidence, not only in video or photographic, but also environmental evidence of them being in large groups in any way, shape, or form. None of it.
Yeah.
Not footprints, not tracks, not trails, not sleeping arrangements, not no mark on the environment for the edible foodstuffs that suggest large groups in any way. There's just no evidence to support it.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, like, it's always singular. And even in great ape communities and everything, the females raise the babies by themselves. You know, like the males don't really ever help with the raising and taking care of babies.
We think.
So, yeah.
Because there's no proof. There's nothing to support that. There's no proof about that because we don't know that. We haven't seen any live definites to study to know that to be the case. That's subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that I really, because if you keep comparing them to humans on everything, then you got to put a family system into it, because people will be like, oh, well, if they're on the scale of humans, then why don't they, why doesn't the father stay with the mother and the baby and stuff like that? And because they're animals first before anything else. And the males usually breed, have their fun, then they disappear. Like you don't see male elephants traveling with a female herd. The matriarchs take care of the herd, not the males. And it's the same thing with like elephants and stuff. Like the males usually get kicked out of packs or whatever. And I think that's the same way that they do with Sasquatches, because resources are so limited as it is. I mean, it's already a strain on a mother Sasquatch to take care of a child along with herself in any given area, let alone taking care of her, the baby, and a male. That's 3 people in one area.
You see,
can't support even one.
Every time you say Sasquatch now, I'm because of what Shia said, I'm imagining seeing them in dungarees.
Dungarees?
Yeah. He's going. Just his comment earlier. I've been trying to ignore it, but I just can't get it out of my head.
Right.
Thanks for that, Shia. It's been bugging me for the last 5 minutes or something. That.
Right.
Every time, seriously, I'm just saying, what is it? A single strap dungaree? What's going on?
Yeah, single strap. Oh, jeez.
Massively distracting, that statement.
Right. Oh, if shelters were made from wood and plants, and there wouldn't be any trace remaining. But are there food eaten raw like primates? Yeah. I mean, it depends. It really depends on what type. Sorry, what type the Sasquatch is. Like the patties, the type ones, they're they are more basic than anything else. The type twos are pretty more civilized than the type ones. They have been known to, fish, like hand fish, and collect, lie and make like pitfall traps, stuff like that, to collect their food. The type threes are more aggressive, to where they make throwing spears, stuff like that. The type fours are the more genius ones. They're the ones that make weapons. They make hunting traps. They they will lead you to traps to kill you. But I've done live streams and everything where I came to a Sasquatch A-frame, and there was a fire ring that was around. There was primitive sticks and everything put into that fire pit, and I found a broken candle lighter, and I found a push button lighter that was out there for a long time, because both of them was out of fluid, and also the extended lighter was busted, either because it ran out of lighter fluid or they broke it with their finger. But the thing with Sasquatches are like primates, and like us, they can learn. They're not stupid. I mean, there's primates in zoos and everything that learn how to create stuff. I mean, there's an orangutan at the uh, at San Diego Zoo that his pastime and his fun is taking a handsaw and cutting tree branches with the handsaw. Like, they're not dumb. They can learn, but on a scale of grabbing a gun and hunting us down, maybe they could one day. But it's not hard to strike two rocks together, two flint rocks, and create sparks. I mean,
I think you're
or a
confusing
bow drill.
associative thinking with intelligence, because everything that you've said there is supposition.
Right. Yeah.
It's
I
assumption. There
probably
isn't
am.
anybody who makes them kind of statement. Not just you, anybody.
Yeah.
Because because I'm not singling you out in any way. I wouldn't do that. You
Yeah.
know that. I mean, in
I
general,
know.
because until we see this, or there's one captured or whatever, and we see them acting like this, it's all guesswork, isn't it?
Yeah. And
All of it.
that is. I mean, yeah, all of it is guesswork, because we seriously know nothing about them.
But my only problem with the shelter thing is, even when there's been sightings in an area, or alleged sightings within an area, which means that there should be activity within that area, or recently up until the point of that sighting, there have been Sasquatch in that area, there still isn't the shelters there, Shire.
Right.
Now, if we say, like, we've seen there's been lots of activity regarding crows or stuff like that, if you like, they've been nesting, but they haven't been nesting there for a few months. If you go to that location, you will still see the remains of their nest.
Mm-hmm.
You don't with the shelters of these so-called Sasquatch.
Right.
And even if they were made of wood or plants, they would gradually degrade unless they were
Yep.
clever enough to take them apart. So they were being secretive about it. But these shelters, or these places, or these accommodations where these things are living, if they're in communal structures, they're just not being found. They're just not there.
Yeah. And see, like, my idea on that is they're not making shelters. They're using naturally made shelters already. Like, if there's an overhang, if there's an overhanging cliff with a rock face and all this stuff, and it's good enough to hold them and protect them from rain, whatever, they're going to use that to their advantage because, even in a human survival situation, everything, building a shelter, finding the materials, doing all this stuff takes calories. And why would you spend calories already in an area that you don't have resources to eat to go and break trees or snap branches or whatever for something that you're not going to be in the area for that long of a time to do?
You would leave a mark. There
Yeah.
would be something there to show that you have been there.
Right.
You're not going to have intelligence as well as a natural instinct. You're either animalistic or you're intelligent to a certain level.
Right.
Okay, and there will be traces of you having been there, whether singularly less likely to be so, or whether you're
Yeah.
there as a herd animal. There will be traces left behind of you being in that location, surely, however small. And given the
Yeah.
amount of sightings that we're led to believe occur, it doesn't substantiate the amount of sightings that we're led to believe. The
Right.
traces aren't there. There's nothing there. Not only bones, and I know, yes, bones can be spread out within such a short period of time by the elements,
Yeah.
all that, yeah. But we still find bones of other animals that have died many, many years ago and been
Yeah.
spread out. There's nothing apart from footprints and blurry photographs.
Mm-hmm. And well, there's also, the thing is like, they don't want to put research or money into investigating a place and doing, say a 5 mile dig to try to uncover bones or whatever of a 5 mile radius in the middle, say the Ozarks, because that's money going to the waste on a imaginary creature that should not be alive in today's standards.
That's a good question. There's a couple of good questions in the side chat there, Matt. One by Deb. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Right, I would say that in a lot of so-called sightings, Shire, people have described smelling Bigfoot or Sasquatch before even seeing them.
Yes.
Many, many, many so-called sightings are many instances of an encounter of any type as well. They have smelt musky, off, sort of like a very strong smell. So I would expect that, yes, they should be able to be smelt. The scent should be able to be picked up.
It should be, but the thing is, like with tracker dogs and everything, they have to have a article with the scent already put on it.
Yeah, so, they have to have a source.
Yeah, they have to have a source. I mean, if you just bring tracker dogs to an area that, say you got there 12 hours after the sighting, and you can still smell the remains and everything, but that smell's going to either throw the dog off, because sometimes they say it smells like rotting flesh, sometimes they say it smells like decomposing nature. There's different accounts on each different smell. So go ahead.
I was going to say, Carl, are you referring to the Dyatlov Pass incident? And as far as
Wait, what?
as far as the smell goes, even if they didn't have a source for smell, surely they would go into an area and it would be a smell not known to them. So they'd be sniffing all the dogs, dogs.
Oh yeah, I mean, dogs do act weird around it. Like my dog. My dog, if we go to used to when she was younger, when we went to an area and she smelled a smell that she did not like, she got out of that area. Like she she wouldn't go for the smell, you know what I mean? It was like she would put her tail down and back out slowly, and that would be my sign to follow her, you know. I, but yeah, dogs have been reported to act differently around, you know, like there was one sighting. There was a report that came in Austin, and it was on a major hiking trail and everything, and people was smelling this weird smell, but they didn't know where it was coming from or whatever. And the forest rangers got one of their tracking dogs because people were saying it smelled like like death, like a dead body. And so they got the dog to go and try to find it. Well, it went off the trail and probably about a mile out, and then all of a sudden the dog started whimpering and trying to get out of the area and would not go any farther. So I don't know. I really don't know about it.
Are you going to address that one on the screen? And then Shai has asked another good question there. Two of them,
Yeah.
actually. You sound like you're fading. Are you getting hungry, Matt? Do you need to eat?
No, my earbud's about to die and everything, but I am going to have to cook some food and everything. I am getting hungry though.
All right.
But,
Do you just want to answer them last
yeah.
couple of questions then, and then we'll scoot?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yeah, I've heard of that YouTuber, but I've heard of that YouTuber, but the way that I was taught about gifting is completely different than what people do today. Gifting was for Native Americans to actually get through specific territories of known Sasquatch. So what they would do, they would create a kind of basket that had edibles and wild edibles and everything of that season that the Sasquatch could get, and they would deliver it to the Sasquatch, and if the Sasquatch took it, that means it was okay for them to cross through that territory. But now people are gifting, quote unquote, gifting to try to lure Sasquatches out. And I never once heard of any of the Native Americans receiving gifts back from Sasquatch once they've been given gifts. Like, because the term gifting isn't like giving and receiving. It's gifting for permission, like kind of paying a tribute kind of thing.
I've heard of an instance. Sorry, Matt. I've heard of an instance in Canada where there were marbles left out for Sasquatch that would visit this particular woman on a regular basis, and in return, after several times of doing this, she would wake up and there would be polished stones or little sort of like not embroidered but woven wooden and grass sigils left on her doorstep, like polished stones and little sort of like not embroidered, yeah, sort of like weaved, you know.
Yeah.
Things left on her doorstep that she claimed had been left to her from Sasquatch, but that's the only instance of her. I've forgotten her name, but there is a video about it on YouTube, but I don't really want to advertise the other person's channel, but it's
Yeah.
out there. You can find it. And by the way, yeah, there you go, Debs. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, figured you might be on it. And Carl, I will do a stream on that actually, Carl, because I want Matt to get his food and that and answer Shire's question. But I'll quickly say I'm not totally convinced that it's just catabatic winds that are responsible for the people dying at Dyatlov Pass. But I will do a stream on that and maybe chat to Matt about it on some night. Sorry, go on, Matt.
Yeah.
What was you saying, brother?
Oh, okay. Well, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like I don't know any of that stuff because I don't do it. I've never had those encounters, and I've heard mixed matched encounters with that stuff, but that's iffy. I mean, if they had fingers that ambidextrous to be able to weave, effigies or anything like that, or polish stones or something, then what makes people not believe that they could, make a fire or do other minute tasks? You know what I mean? Like, because weaving an effigy, that takes skill, and it's not just some, you know, basic animal out in the wilderness, not even gorillas or chimpanzees or anything does that stuff.
No, these are like little crosses and little kind of weird sigils. They're not to that extent. If you sort of, if anybody's seen the Blair Witch Project and then weird kind of cross type weird, they look like a Y, but almost like a cross. They're similar to that. They're not massively in depth and hugely detailed. They're not to that kind of level. They are basic, but they have been formed by dried grass, dried roots, whatever, and then woven into these little shapes. And these polished stones are just pebbles. They're not highly polished. They've just been, I don't know, they could rub them in the palms for long. I'm only guessing, but
right.
But yeah, she's the claim that these things have been left on a windowsill and on the porch.
Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing to say on that. Like,
okay, well, what about Shire's question then?
Yeah, Shire. A majority of reports up north come from hunters that are either hunting caribou or elk or stuff like that. None of them really use hunting dogs because hunting dogs are more of a small game animal here in America. They hunt raccoons, foxes, rabbits, ducks, and stuff. But a majority of them up north that are hunting the caribou and the elk migrations, they're the ones that usually run into Bigfoot encounters. There was one encounter in '92 where there was a hunter. I want to say he was in Fairbanks, Alaska. And he was out hunting seals, and when he was hunting, he had maybe 3 or 4 seals put on his dog sled, and he was coming back, and there was this pure white creature in front of him. He didn't know what it was. He raised up his gun to shoot at him. The creature grabbed his gun from his hands before he could shoot, pulled the gun away, broke it on his sled, and threw the pieces at him. and grabbed one of the seals and walked off. So, but that was a story from one of the Inuits, you know. But there was a caribou hunter in Montana, I want to say, in '96 that was out in an open field, and he was getting ready to shoot a caribou. And when he finally got the sights lined up and everything, he said something grabbed him by the nape of the neck, pulled him up, grabbed the gun, hit it against the tree and broke it, and threw him against the tree and knocked him out. And he woke up like 4 hours later and didn't know what happened. So there's not a lot of encounters where hunters run into Bigfoot with dogs. There's not really any reports to my knowledge with anything with hunters and dogs dealing with Sasquatch.
But a lot of sightings are made by hunters that might be out just hunting without dogs. A big chunk of them,
Yeah,
because they're more likely to be out in the wilderness. So I've
Yes.
heard of a few like that, but like Matt says, I've not really heard of a lot where they've been using dogs out there, if I'm honest.
right. It because like here in America and everything, I mean, dogs are used for small game, you know, like fox hunting, duck hunting, stuff like that, where the dog can actually go and retrieve the animals. But bigger game hunting, where you actually had to be in the wilderness or in the mountains, they don't bring dogs for any of that stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what are you cooking up, Matt? Then what are you getting ready to eat?
I don't know. I really don't know yet. Something, I hope. But
Yeah,
what?
you need to keep on top of that, don't you?
Yeah.
All
All
right. Well,
right, everybody.
okie dokie. Well, thanks for having me up here, Matt, and cheers for the chat. It's always
Always, brother.
interesting to hear your knowledge on the subject.
Thank you, big bro. And it's always great having you up here too and
I
discuss
appreciate
your
it.
side of it.
I appreciate it, and thanks everybody in the side chat too. Cheers, Matt. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah. Cheers, brother. Take care.
Take it easy. Bye bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for coming in and having fun and all the good questions. And, you know, if you know anybody that's going to watch this or whatever, if y'all have any questions about whatever, just send me a message down below and I'll try to answer it. So more in depth if I can. But I love you all. Y'all take care and have a good night, everybody. Bye.